What do you think of eminent domain?
I think it's a wonderful thing. I'll be honest with you.
In life, you have a thing called condemnation, and cities have the right to condemn for the good of a city, whether it's New York, whether it's Los Angeles, whether it's any other place. Atlantic City is one of those cities, and it's got the right to condemn.
And Donald Trump wanted Vera's home so he could put in limousine parking for his casino across the street.
Everybody coming into Atlantic City sees that property. And it's not fair to Atlantic City and the people. They're staring at this terrible house instead of staring at beautiful fountains and beautiful other things that would be good.
You're bullying these people out because they're...
Excuse me, that's wrong. But for you to use the word bully, John, is very unfair. This is a government case. This is not Donald Trump.
Yes, it's Donald Trump. It's you and your cronies in government working together.
For you to call these people cronies is very unfair. To be calling good public servants cronies.
Basic to freedom is that if you own something, it's yours, that the government doesn't just come and take it away from you.
Do you want to live in a city where you can't build schools? Do you want to live in a city where you can't build roads or highways or have access to hospitals? Condemnation is a necessary evil.
But you're not talking about a hospital. You're talking about a building a rich guy finds ugly.
I was in deep, deep trouble in the early 90s. The markets totally collapsed. The banks were collapsing. The savings and loan were collapsing. I had a beautiful girlfriend named Marla. Did anyone ever hear of Marla? Okay. Cost me a frickin' fortune, let me tell you. And I'm walking down Fifth Avenue, right in front of Tiffany, okay? Right in front of Trump Tower, Tiffany. And there's a man, a blind man. He's got pencils in a tin can and a dog, seeing eye dog. And I said to Marla, Marla, do you know who that is? She goes, yes, darling. Isn't it sad? He's a beggar. I go, well, you know, right now that beggar is worth $900 million more than I am. And she goes, somewhat naively, although in retrospect she wasn't very naive at all. She goes, what do you mean, darling? He's not worth $900 million, is he? I said, no. Let's assume he's worth nothing. But I'm worth minus $900 million right now. But there's a great story about that. So, and this is a story of luck. I go to my office, and my secretary's been with me for a long time, said, Mr. Trump, you have a major black tie dinner tonight. I said, where? The Waldorf Astoria. I said, who's there? The bankers. I said, bankers? Oh, shit. I owe them $9.2 billion, okay? Have no intention of paying it. And I have to go to a banker's then. It's true. So I say, I don't want to go. I'm not going. She said, no, you got to go. And, you know, on top of it, it's black tie. So now on top of everything else, I have to put on a tuxedo to get abused. So I go, I say, you know, I go home, not even think. And then I call myself. I say, give me the details. I'm going to go. Okay, now we're talking about luck. So I go, and I'm sitting at a table loaded up with bankers. And the guy on my left was a nice guy. Obviously, he didn't loan me any money. And he was a nice guy. And he's talking to me a little bit. The guy on my right, I didn't know who he was. And I say, hello, how are you? He goes, huh. And he turns his head. I go, whoa. The guy on my left says, he doesn't like you very much. I said, I've got, you know, I sort of understand that. So I started talking to the guy on the left for a while, and then I hit the guy on the right, and you could see the hatred was immense. Well, this was a guy that bankrupted 32 different people. He was with a certain bank. I won't name the bank. I owed him $179 million. And he was nasty, and he wasn't even taking my phone calls. He wasn't taking anybody's phone calls from. He was a bad guy. He was bankrupting everybody instead of working it out. So now I'm sitting next to him. I figured out it was him, because I said, what's your name? He looks at me, didn't want to even give it. Okay, he was insulted that I didn't know, but I never met him. I owe him, think of it, I owe him $179 million. I never even met the banker. So the evening goes by, and I started working on them hard. You know, it's called work. It's not pleasure. I'd rather be home watching television. I like to say read a book makes me more intellectual. I actually was like this. So I can think of about 1,000 places I would have rather been, but it's work. But I'm at this dinner and I'm sitting next to a guy. Now call that luck. It wasn't working, but call it luck. Now I start working on him and we were talking about different things. And all of a sudden I could see that he was starting to like me. I happen to be a nice guy. People like me. You know, with The Apprentice, they say it can never work because women will never like Donald Trump. And I say, excuse me, who's done better with women than Trump? And by the way, my highest audience is women. Women. They love Trump. It's a crazy thing. See? Women are smart, aren't they? Okay. So what happens, I'm with the banker, and at the end of the evening he says, you know, I got to tell you, you're really a great guy. I like you. Can you be in my office? You know, when you owe lots of money, you go to their office. Can you be in my office on, this was a Friday, on Monday morning at 9 o'clock? We'll see if we can work something out. Now, he bankrupted, I think it was 32 different people, and he was vicious. No deals, no negotiation, no nothing. I said, I'll be there. I went to his office, and in 5 minutes, we worked out a deal for a lot of money. And if I didn't work it out with him, I had 100 banks, and he was the only one I couldn't work it out, then the other banks could never have done, because, you know, a lot of the people in the room, if you don't do it perfectly, they can't, you know, it's just the way it is. So I work out a deal. Now, I said, thank you very much. You really are a gentleman, even though he's a rough guy, but I won't go. But to me, he was a gentleman. But think about the word luck, and think about working hard. I didn't want to go there. I said, I'm not going. I refused to go. My secretary gave me one more chance. I went. I happened to sit next to the guy, but I would have never sat next to him. And had I not gone, and had I not sat next to him and done well with him, I probably wouldn't be here, because the empowerment group would say, who the hell wants a loser? Who the hell? Well, maybe they'd have me as how to blow a fortune, okay?